Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the podcast. I'm Billy, and I'm coming to you from the wonderfully wood-paneled walls of the Hawthorne Manor studio. So how's everybody's summer going? Mine's been okay. A lot of projects at home. I haven't really done anything yet, but I love the weather. Well, besides last week, that was a little damn hot. So I'm sorry for the hiatus. I didn't realize when I started this thing how much work it is to keep a steady podcast going. But I'll get to them. As long as you guys are listening, I'll keep making them. So on this episode, I'll let you know what I've been listening to, and we'll do Vintage Wax, and we'll also be talking on the phone to guitarist Wayne Johnson about his new solo album called Atomic Tsunami. So let's do this shit. So what's everybody been listening to? I know I've heard a ton of stuff. Some of it's new to me, and just stuff I'm listening to. Here's one that is new that I'm excited about. It features vocalist John Arch, probably my favorite singer ever. There's like no one who sings and phrases his words quite like this guy. He was the original vocalist in Fate's Warning, and when he was let go in 1987 and left the music business, I thought that we have truly lost a great talent. But he started doing more projects again around 2003 with some of his old band members. And this new album is called Winter Ethereal by Arch Matthias, and it features 5 different drummers, as well as some Fates Warning alumni, as well as members of Armored Saint, Death, and Cynic. Check it out. And then there's this new project called Sweet Oblivion, which former Queensryche singer Jeff Tate is a part of. Sounds like a modern Rage for Order. And here's prosthetic recording artist All Hell from their new album, The Witch's Grail. I love the chords they play and their old school style.
Over the top, like the night.
And here is a band from South Wales called Buffalo Summer from their album Second Son. They're a hard rockin' bluesy band, so you want to get this record and get in your car, put the windows down, and crank it up. You're listening to the Billy Hawthorne Podcast. Check out the show page on Facebook or follow me on Twitter at Billy Podcast. Vintage Wax! Vintage Wax! So this portion of the show is dedicated to the vinyl people. This time we're checking out the Sweet Freedom album by Uriah Heep. They have so many great albums that it was hard to pick one. So let's check it out.
As you look around you, do you like what you see? Though it sometimes makes you lonely, do you like being free? And are you sure you'll be okay without my company? I just want you to be happy, even if it's not with me. Sweet, sweet freedom. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Well, the line between all this and my love ever meets. Sweet, sweet freedom. Sweet,
So this record was released by Warner Brothers in 1973, and it features the classic lineup of Mick Box on guitar, Ken Hensley on the keys, Gary Thane on bass, Lee Kerslake on drums, and the amazing David Byron on the vocals.
Don't try to be anything else but what you are. Don't try to do anything else but the things you do. 'Cause I had a dream about 7 stars and the 7 good things that you are to me.
You might recognize Lee Kerslake's name because he played drums on the first two Ozzy Osbourne solo albums, along with Bob Daisley and Randy Rhoads.
Didn't I tell ya everything was gonna be alright? I never doubted it was just a matter of time. Though I've traveled across the desert of despair, I knew I'd get there, yeah, one day. How times have changed. I've been rearranging everything, but it can't change the love I bring when I get back home to you. I am the same. It's just a game that I chose to play. But remember, I can lose as fast as I want one day.
And of course, this album contains one of their most known songs, Stealin'. If you haven't heard this song, you must have been living under a rock or something. Anyway, if you're out vinyl shopping and you happen to come across this album, it would be great for your record collection.
Nothing left to say but my life. Stood on a ridge and shot religion, thinking the world was mine. I made my break and a big mistake, stealing when I should have been buying. Oh, that body killing, one of those women gonna put me to an early grave. Running, hiding, losing, lying, nothing left to save but my life. 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 Woo!
All right, as I promised, the one and only Wayne Johnson, and he's got this awesome new record called Atomic Tsunami. What's up, Wayne?
What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. Checking out this record, you know.
Are you digging it?
I'm liking it, man. It's great. It has a lot of sounds. Did you play much guitar on it?
Oh, well. There was maybe a few notes here and there. Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, oh, I got to hear that. I went and got it right away. So who else played on this with you?
On drums, it was Brandon Wagner.
Uh-huh.
And he also recorded everything, too. And on keyboards on one track called Chill was a fella named Danny Tanner.
Oh, cool.
And he's amazing.
Definitely. And it's great, man. So what kind of gear, what guitars did you use on this record?
I used almost everything that I have, which is about 20 guitars.
Wow.
It was like electric wise, it was like well, the weird thing is, you know, like when you have a bunch, you kind of still kind of gravitate to kind of like your favorites,
right?
But then you also have the ones that kind of excel. Like in the studio, there were the few that excelled really well, so they kind of did like the majority of the like the rhythm stuff. Like my old 84 Charvel San Dimas did
Oh yes.
the majority of like all the rhythm tracks for the 6-string stuff, and for all the majority of the leads was this custom guitar built by Ben Baker for me.
Oh, cool.
And oh yeah, that thing does everything. But then everything else kind of filled in, like, doing like little pieces here and there, different sounds,
Yeah.
stuff that the guitars themselves kind of excel at. They went into here and there.
That's
And
cool.
let's see, 7-string wise, I use my my old Ibanez RG. Was it the 7621, I think? And then a custom built piece, my 7-string Telly, my Flying Telly of Destruction.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that covered, like the bulk of the low stuff.
That's awesome.
Is
Is this your first solo album?
No, I've got one before that called North of Nowhere.
Okay.
Which is like a 10-song vocal album.
Gotcha.
Like hard rock. And but this was the one that I don't know if most guitar players do it, but when you start playing and you hear like the instrumental guys, like Vi or Satriani or Andy Timmons or any of those cats, and you're like,
Right.
I wonder if I can pull that off. I wonder if I could do what they do. Be able to play a song where the guitar is carrying the melody of everything, and keep it interesting enough to where you just don't, where it doesn't get skipped over really quick.
Right. I think you did a great job, man.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those, like kind of pit list things, and kind of like a thing of it started like with an idea of like, okay, well, I had 3 songs, and then it grew to 5 songs. Then it turned to 8 songs, and it went to 10 songs. And I was like, all right, I think we got it.
I think you got an album here.
Yeah.
How long did it take?
Oh, that one. Well, I only really recorded was in the studio like twice a month. So it was maybe 6 or 7 months I was recording. Yeah, because I'd
Right.
go in and just do like 3 hours at a time, and then come back a few weeks later and do it again.
Yeah, that's cool. If you kept the momentum up, man. It was always hard for me to do that when I'd have to stop and come back.
Yeah, it's talking about momentum. Like with that, once when Atomic Tsunami was getting ready to get mixed, then I went crazy and recorded a ton of new tracks for a whole bunch of new songs. So I've got like 30 more songs waiting after this.
Oh, great. Well, I can't wait to hear them.
Well, they're and it's like it's kind of it's not all the same bag though. It's like we've got like a 5-song acoustic EP coming.
Oh, cool.
I just kind of like I think I've got one more mastering session, and this new project called Plate Full of Dynamite will be done. That's a 5-song kind of. It's kind of like rock, but it's got some different like country flavors maybe thrown into it.
Right on.
But like not like a country album. It's just kind of like Americana with distortion.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like that.
And the songs are fun because I think they're kind of like tongue in cheek lyrically, a little bit different. Not to be all like super serious all the time, but just have a good time and
Right.
playing around.
Well, that's one thing I liked about this, man. It's like a lot of stuff there, but it all goes together, though, I thought.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it was,
oh, I'm sorry.
oh no, I was just just thinking back on it, like how like the arrangement of the album and stuff, everything just kind of it dictated its place, and
Right.
there were times where like during the recording we had to take a break because Brandon and his family had their second child. So
Oh, okay.
when we got back into recording, I go in and I'm like, all right, man, I want to do this, 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 and this. And then I listen to the track and I already had done it. And I didn't even remember.
Oh my.
So I was like, who did that? And he goes, you did. It must be that, that old age starting to creep up on me.
Oh, I hear you. I'm there with you. That's cool, man. But you've been so gracious as to let me play this thing. So I picked out two. It was hard to pick out which two I wanted to play. But let's do this one called Battle Stick. Do you want to set this up? Tell us about this one.
All right, Battle Stick. Nice bit of if I say groove, it doesn't like match up with like groove metal or anything like that. It just makes you want to, as Will Smith says, nod your head.
Yeah.
So it just makes you move. It's got a cool groove to it, and like probably like a really super awesome guitar solo. Not to toot my own horn.
Yeah.
But it was like one of those things because in recording it, not to deviate too much off of everything else, but I had a rule when I went in to record all these songs, and it was, I didn't have everything completely like written out rhythmically. Mm-hmm. So, probably like I'll say like 80% of the structure was there, but there were these holes that I didn't know exactly what was going to happen, and when I went in, I told him, I was like, I just want it to be like completely inspired right in the moment, and what comes out is what it's going to be.
That's great.
And it was like a big kind of risk, needless to say, like if it's really bad, we could have stopped and redone it. But the overall plan worked really good. And you can hear, like Battle Stick's a good thing to listen to that and be able to hear the beast waking up.
There you go.
And a Battle Stick is, in my view, it's a guitar. So.
Well, let's check that bad boy out. This is Wayne Johnson from Atomic Tsunami, Battle Stick. right, man. That was awesome. So you spent a lot of time, many years in under command. Tell me about those days.
Wow, man. Well, under command was kind of like my first big baby, I guess you could say. My
Right.
first out like doing like professional recording and then touring and traveling and everything else, and then with all things, there comes another CD, then more traveling, and then another CD, then more traveling, and it was awesome
cycle.
during the time. It was good, but until it got hard, I guess.
Right.
There's, I mean, you've been on the road. I mean,
there's
always those moments.
It becomes a job.
Yeah. It's like, but we also traveled with our daughter.
Oh,
Because
wow.
my wife was the bass player in the band, so
Right.
we were a family band traveling. So when we were out playing in clubs, we didn't have a nanny or anything traveling with us. So we were like, we had her with us, like backstage. We were really, really fortunate and blessed because there were folks there that watched her and took care of her when she was,
awesome.
when she was little. Like
Well,
she would fall asleep, and they would keep an eye on her and allow us to be able to do what we needed to do.
Growing up on the road.
Yeah. We did there were a couple shows where she ventured out on stage when she was still little, like like I won't say toddler, but maybe a little bit bigger than a toddler, and we were doing a festival in Louisville, Kentucky, and we were running kind of late, and we got there probably just the band that was in front of us was on stage, so we had just enough time to stage to get ready to go on. So we're playing and we're having fun. We're just tearing it up, and I'm noticing everybody in the very front, is looking past us, like kind of at the drums and smiling, and they're all kind of like laughing, to themselves. Kind of like, and I'm like, so I'm singing and I'm playing, and I'm like, I'm getting that like other random thought going in my head, like, what the heck's going on? So I turn around and look, and my daughter had climbed up onto the drum riser and with all her stuffed animals and was shoving them into the hole in the kick drum.
That's awesome.
And every time when the kick drum would go, her hair would blow back. Because before she started doing that, she was literally behind my wife's bass amp playing with her stuffed animals.
Wow.
It's like on stage behind the bass amp. She had this big like SWR stack, big thing. And I guess she just got bored and ventured out and said, I'm going to show them in this kick drum, see what happens.
That's awesome.
But it turned into like one of those endearing moments, like one of the things you remember really well.
Oh, yeah. Man, that had to be tough. All I ever had to take care of on the road was drunken band members.
Yeah, it was good because we were always together. But then we would always like kind of like, because the drives would be so much. I mean, like our shortest drives are usually like about 8 hours.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So whichever city we would be in, we would tack on another day to be in it before a drive day, and go to the local zoo. Like have a day for my daughter.
That's great.
For her to do like kid things and family things, and and so like we've been to a whole lot of zoos, and then like in the summertime we would kind of hang at the hotels a little bit longer and just swim and relax.
That's great. I wish I could have did that. I had to leave everybody behind whenever I went. Yeah. That's cool. So you were talking about some of the music that you've recorded with Under Command.
Hmm. Well, we do. All right, in the 30 some songs that I spoke about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a uh, I guess a box set where we're putting all of our releases into one package. But also included in that is a like previously unreleased acoustic CD
Oh, cool.
and a brand new kind of CD, like a
Mm-hmm.
5 song EP, to kind of be the bookend for everything else, to kind of to
Right.
close it
I
off.
think that's great, man.
Yeah, yeah, because I was looking at them and I'm like, man, it'd be really cool to do this because this year is the 20th anniversary of our very first CD.
Uh-huh.
So we were like, man, it'd be really cool to kind of do this. So I called up like, you the members of the very first, incarnation, the
Right,
first,
right.
version, and asked us like, hey, it was like, did you be able to record like 2 songs and whatever? Because uh, I had all the guitar stuff recorded and to a click track, and Brandon did the drums for 3 of the tunes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, it would be, it's awesome to have songs that are, to close things out, but also it would be more awesome to have like the original band playing those songs to close things out.
Yes, that's
And
that's great.
and so and everybody's like, oh yeah, that would be great to do it. And then getting everyone on the same page wound up being a whole lot more hassled.
That's always
Because like
fun.
because now we're spread out over the country,
Oh,
so it's like
wow.
it's like, well, we can fly in and we'll do this, we'll do that. So we finally got Steve Saji, our original drummer. He came in
Uh-huh.
and did tracks on 2 songs, and he's like, and before we would always work on like get together and hammer it out. And I told him this time, I was like, man, there's no way possible. I mean, I'm relying on you just to be as awesome as you are and just come in and destroy it. Kind of come in, make a statement. It's like, because, being at, as things are sitting right now, like this is the very last Under Command recording. Come in, close it out like a beast, and
Mm-hmm.
look back on it and go, yep, there's the front and there's the end. So he came in and he's like, he's needing like knee replacement surgery,
Oh, wow.
and he comes in and just decimates his song like in the like the first song he does it in two takes, and then the second time he nails it in the first take.
Wow.
And I was like, and you're hurting? He goes, well, not really. It'll hit me later on.
You feel it later.
Right.
Well, that's
But
cool, man. That's great.
yeah, he played some killer stuff. And I was like, man, this sounds so good. Yeah. And then you have these conversations. Why do we ever stop? Well, because of this. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I've always there's a few projects that I was involved in. I wish like, man, what would we sound like now?
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know. But it's like you say, we all grew up and grew apart, and we're lucky to get to say hello every now and then, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
cool, man.
But he when we did that, I mean, I listened to the tracks. I'm like, man, this, you get that like, you get the warm fuzzies, but then you get the excitement of like, oh man, this is so amazing. Like the
Yeah.
playing wise, like, not to, blow any horns, but like one of the songs like, was played in ways that like, patterns and things that I've never played before.
Wow.
Things that like, in the keys that I never played in. And it was just amazing. I was like, man, this is going to be so cool.
It's always
And,
great when it works.
right, right. Yeah, yeah, because there is still the other side of the coin.
Yeah, yeah. For sure.
Fortunately, I haven't had to live on that side of the coin much.
Right, right. Do you plan on doing any shows for this record?
For Atomic Tsunami,
Uh-huh.
I did a. I joined a date for this tour. It was in oh crap, what was it? May, I think.
Oh,
There for with these other instrumental guitar players in Richmond, Virginia,
oh wow.
and but it was weird because it was a thing where I had to play the track, so I didn't have a live band behind me, so I had to play the
Oh,
pre-recorded music.
that was
And
probably tough.
that, yeah, because like when you play with people, you kind of get a little bit of forgiveness, like in a swing of things and stuff,
Right.
and you can kind of improvise more. And I find myself I improvise a lot sometimes,
Uh-huh.
so having to really stick to
You had to
like a
lock in.
recorded track again, it took probably like a week of practice to get myself in that frame of mind. So I went out with them and did a show with them in Richmond, and it was a cool learning experience. Like the place, it was a great venue, really cool stage, nice big stage, and the night went well. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to do. I did my thing. I didn't know what else was being planned with the other artists and stuff. But then it's kind of like turned into almost like a thing of like, all right, well, let's do this like jam on Lagrange at the end. And I was like, you mean like G3, like jam at the end?
Everybody gets together.
On a song that they've recorded. Yeah. It's like, that's kind of bad. That stuck bad with me anyway. I was like, nah, I'll sit this one out. All right.
Well, that's cool
But
when you got to do it.
oh yeah, yeah. Had had the songs lined up on my went in like at our studio and removed like the melody track for the guitar. So I had like everything as it sounds off Atomic Tsunami. I had all the rhythms like right off the album, wham, and all the harmonies and all the little cool little bings and bongs and bits and pieces still in there.
Right.
So I
went
just
to
put all
town
the
on it.
songs. Yeah, I just put it all together like in a little playlist. Put it on my iPod, and
That's
plugged
cool.
it into my mixer, and wham, there it was.
That's great. Well, this record, it seems everywhere I've checked it's available, like Spotify and Amazon,
Hmm.
Pandora, iTunes, and so everybody can check it out. Let's do another song from it. This is another one. Like I said, I had a hard time picking a couple. But this one is Decibel. Set that one up for us.
All right, Decibel. Gather around, boys and girls. Decibel. We all know like the abbreviation for it is DB, and that tune came out of like the rhythm to it came out a few years ago. I had to do a guitar clinic, and I had to come up with music to play to, and like the bones of Decibel wound up being that one of those songs.
Okay.
Now I call it DB or Decibel being DB because when I did it with my brothers, Kevin and Tom DiMaggio, the DiMaggio brothers, DB.
Gotcha.
And and just I didn't want to not be able to include their memory of when we were able to throw that sucker together. So that's where the name came from, and and the rhythm tracks and stuff. but Kevin, the drummer, he passed away like about 3 years ago.
Oh man.
And so, like, that one's special to me.
Right.
And so
Well, it turned
just
out great.
yeah. So it's always fun, and as always, it's got a few little surprises in it.
Yeah. Well, let's do it. This one is Decibel. Decibel. Whoa. Awesome. And this whole record, I've listened to it a few times, and it's got a lot of stuff there.
Well,
Carry Me. That was laid back. I really liked that. That was smooth.
hmm Yeah, that one was I think that one turned out to be a one take wonder.
Oh wow.
Like right, everything was right at the gate. Everything was perfect for their takes.
Uh huh.
Let me see. Uh, Funny too with the other quieter song on the CD, Chill.
Uh huh.
Like I did the scratch track for it, and then wait, let me back up a little bit more. I had it written out, and I had it written. I was playing it. I was like, yeah, at home. I was like, man, this is just not cutting it. So I completely rewrote it to what it is. Like I think with it like a 2 days before I had to go in to record it. So I
Wow.
went in and recorded it and put the scratch track down. Well, then I couldn't get it to be as cool when I was doing the real track as the scratch track. So what you're hearing is the scratch track as the as the meat of the song.
Wow.
So yeah, so all that's the scratch one take all the way through.
That's great. It came out wonderful. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was listening to it today actually. And I was like, man, that's pretty cool. It's a challenge too because man, when I did it, I put things I guess like in the mix. Like if you listen to it with headphones, you can hear these things kind of like all sprinkled around in the field. Like it's like a little guitar doing something over here, and a little guitar doing something over here. Real quiet, real melodic, but little interesting things. And I still like to listen for them when I listen to it.
That's cool. Yeah, I want to check it out on headphones. I haven't done that yet.
It'll blow your mind.
Very cool. And it's available everywhere. Are there hard copies of this or is it all digital?
No, there are. I have CDs that you can get from me. My website is currently under construction. When it comes back up, it will be. You can go to WayneJohnsonOfficial.com, and it'll have that and all my other releases and stuff there too.
That's cool, man.
And but if you're looking for, if you're interested in a hard copy, you can email me at Crunch House, 2 words, but they're both together, and it's spelled out just like you would say it, crunchhouse@gmail.com. Send me $15 and I'll send you a CD.
That's awesome. Yeah, some people are still into their discs.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. But you not only play guitar very well, but I know that you know your way around one pretty well. You work on them. So tell me about that.
Yeah, I have a small shop called Speed Pick Guitar Repair in Bowie, Maryland, and I work on pretty much everything. Not just electric guitars, but acoustics, cellos, violins, double basses. The big, huge acoustic bass and electric basses. I've done some, even the electronic drums. I even repair them on a very rare occasion. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it covers. I cover a wide range of repair stuff, and even to a point of up to refinishing. We can give a cool new paint job on your old axe if you so desire.
There you go. Make them all new again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool, man. Well, I wish you the best of luck with this record, man. I hope everybody checks it out. I really love it. And for sure, man. Yeah, man. So I appreciate you doing the podcast, man. I'm still new at this, you know. I'm
Oh,
still green.
well, it sounds like you're well on your way for international syndication.
Oh, there you go. Well, I appreciate it, man. Well, good luck with everything, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. So that was really cool of Wayne to call in. If you like what he does, get a hold of that Atomic Tsunami album and check out Speed Pick Guitar Repair as well. Well, we made it to the end of the show. I thank you all for listening, and thanks for everyone who stopped by the Facebook page and gave it a like. Well, back in the 90s, I played in a band called Blatant Disregard, and I'll leave you with this. From our 1996 EP, Unearthed, this is Sacrifice So Simple.
My fingers are on the blade. I test the edge against the heel of my hand. My life wells up right. Red as the light inside my head. My stomach breaks so bad. The rubber runs at me. My stomach not today. For the way I'm done it got me. You know I love you. You know I care. And the hurt inside you is the way you can share. Sacrifice! Sacrifice! I'll ease your pain tonight. Take you away from all this. The nice light in tender gleaming steel. Yeah, yeah. Sunset fall. Sunset fall.
This has been a Hawthorne Manor production.